So let's talk about one of the most hyped strategies right now, retiring on high-yield ETFs. Not just any ETFs, but specifically SPYI, QQQI, and IWMI. These three are everywhere right now, and for good reason. They're offering double-digit yields, monthly income, and a completely different approach compared to traditional dividend investing. But the real question is, can you actually build a retirement strategy around them, or is this just another high-yield illusion? To answer that, we need to go deeper than just yield. So let's start with the foundation. All three of these ETFs are built by NEOS, and they follow a very similar strategy. They hold equity exposure, and then they layer on an option strategy to generate income. But here's the key detail that most people don't fully understand. They're not just selling simple covered calls like traditional income ETFs. They're using index options, specifically structured in a way that allows for both income generation and some upside participation. That's important because traditional covered call ETFs often completely cap your upside. These are designed to still participate in market gains, just not fully. So right away, you're dealing with something more advanced than your typical dividend ETF. Now let's break them down individually, because this is where things start to diverge. SPYI is the most straightforward of the three. It's built around the S&P 500, meaning you're getting exposure to the largest and most stable companies in the US economy. It has been around since 2022 and has already built a strong track record. Since inception, it has delivered around 12 to 13% annualized returns while paying out consistent monthly income. What makes SPYI interesting is its balance. It's not trying to be the highest yielding ETF. Instead, it focuses on generating strong income while maintaining a relatively stable base. Because it's tied to the S&P 500, it benefits from diversification across sectors like healthcare, finance, tech, and consumer goods. That diversification is what helps stabilize both price and income over time. Then you have QQQI, which is basically the more aggressive sibling. Instead of the S&P 500, it's tied to the NASDAQ 100. That means it's heavily concentrated in tech and growth companies like Apple, Microsoft, and Nvidia. And because these stocks are more volatile, the options premiums are higher. That's why QQQI typically offers higher yields, often in the 13 to 18% range. Since its launch in early 2024, QQQI has already shown strong performance, with around 15% annualized returns since inception. But here's the trade-off. Higher income comes with higher volatility. When tech is booming, QQQI can look incredible, but when tech pulls back, both the price and income potential can fluctuate more than something like SPYI. And then we have IWMI, which is where things get really interesting. Because IWMI focuses on small-cap stocks through the Russell 2000. This is a completely different part of the market compared to SPYI and QQQI. Small caps are more sensitive to economic cycles, interest rates, and overall market sentiment. But they also bring something unique to the table: diversification. IWMI launched in mid-2024 and is currently offering yields around 14% with monthly payouts. It follows the same options-based strategy, using Russell 2000 index options to generate income. But because small caps are more volatile, the income potential is higher, similar to QQQI, but driven by a completely different sector of the market. Now here's where most people get confused. They look at these three ETFs and think they're interchangeable. They're not. SPYI is your stability layer. QQQI is your growth-driven income. IWMI is your diversification and small-cap upside. Each one plays a different role, and this is exactly why combining them can be powerful. But before we talk about portfolios, we need to address the biggest misunderstanding around these ETFs: the income itself. When you see a 12% or 14% yield, it's very easy to assume that's pure profit. But that's not how these ETFs work. A large portion of the distributions can be classified as return of capital. That doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, but it does mean the income is structured differently. It includes option premiums, capital gains, and tax-efficient components that don't behave like traditional dividends. In fact, for QQQI, recent data shows that around 97% of distributions can be classified as return of capital. For IWMI, it can even reach close to 100% in certain periods. So what does that actually mean for you as an investor? It means the income is real, but it's not all coming from profits in the traditional sense. It's part of a broader strategy that includes tax efficiency and options income. And if the total return of the fund supports those distributions, then it can still be sustainable. But if not, you could see pressure on the net asset value over time. This is why focusing only on yield is dangerous. You have to look at total return. Now let's talk numbers, because this is where things become practical. If you invest $100,000 into SPYI at a 12% yield, you're generating about $12,000 per year. QQQI at 15% would generate around $15,000. IWMI at 14% gives you about $14,000. If you split evenly across all three, you're looking at roughly $13,500 per year, or about $1,125 per month. Now scale that up. At $300,000, you're generating around $40,000 annually. That's already approaching a livable income in many parts of the world. At $500,000, you're looking at $65,000 plus per year. That's full financial independence for many people. This is why these ETFs are getting so much attention. They dramatically reduce the amount of capital needed to live off your portfolio compared to traditional ETFs. But again, there's a trade-off. These ETFs are not designed to maximize long-term growth. They are designed to generate income. And because of that, they may underperform during strong bull markets compared to pure growth ETFs like VOO or QQQ. So the real question becomes, what is your goal? If your goal is to retire and live off income, these ETFs make that possible much earlier. But if your goal is to maximize wealth over decades, you might sacrifice some upside. Now let's talk about a realistic strategy, because this is where things come together. A lot of investors make the mistake of going all in on one ETF. That's risky. Instead, a more balanced approach could look like this. You allocate around 40% to SPYI for stability, then 30% to QQQI for higher income and growth exposure, and 30% to IWMI for diversification and small cap upside. Now you have income coming from three different parts of the market: large cap, tech, and small cap. This kind of structure reduces your dependence on any single sector. If tech underperforms, SPYI and IWMI can balance it out. If small caps struggle, SPYI and QQQI carry the load. And this is the real strength of this strategy. It's not about finding the highest yield. It's about building a system that can sustain income across different market conditions. But let's be honest, this strategy is not perfect. There are risks. Market downturns can reduce option premiums. Volatility can impact income consistency. And because these funds are relatively new, especially QQQI and IWMI, they don't have decades of history to prove long-term sustainability. So you have to approach this with the right mindset. These are tools, not magic solutions. They can accelerate your path to financial independence, but only if you understand how they work and use them correctly. At the end of the day, retiring on SPYI, QQQI, and IWMI is absolutely possible. The math works, the income is real. But the success of that strategy depends on how you build your portfolio, how you manage risk, and how you adapt over time. Because the goal isn't just to reach retirement, it's to stay retired. So if you made it this far, you already know this channel isn't about hype, it's about real strategies that actually work in the market. If you want more deep dives like this on high-yield ETFs, passive income, and building portfolios that can realistically replace your income, make sure you subscribe to Money Stick Unfiltered and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. Drop a comment if you want specific portfolio breakdowns, and I'll see you in the next one.